What is going on, guys? Welcome to Extreme Daily Drivers. I am not at home. I'm actually in Hilton Head, South Carolina at my mom's house because I bought a new car. That's right, I bought a new car. Flew to Roanoke, Virginia yesterday and drove 7 hours to Hilton Head, South Carolina, where I got this beauty. Check this thing out. What do you know about this? Not what you guys were expecting, is it? Huh? Check out the size of this thing. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what you're looking at is a Jeep Commander 2006. And you're probably asking yourself, why in the world did I buy this thing? Why would I buy such a giant, arguably ugly, definitely ridiculous American giant SUV? Well, I'm about to tell you why. So, why do I have this giant thing? Well, it's kind of a lot of reasons. Number one is Kelly and I want to do more kind of road adventures. And we can do that in her car, which gets great gas mileage. But her car is relatively small if you take a large road trip. Now, is it possible? Is it doable? It absolutely is. And that's not the number one reason why we got something so ridiculous as this car. But it's one of the reasons. Another reason I got this is I wanted to get something that has four-wheel drive. Okay, this has four-wheel drive. It actually has all-wheel drive, and then it has a switch where you can switch into four-wheel. I'll get into all that later in the video. We'll actually do a walkthrough of this car. But I wanted something that could do four-wheel drive because I have a buddy of mine who does overlanding. If you guys don't know what overlanding is, go ahead and Google it. And I wanted something where I could do that with him. We could hang out, we could go on adventures, we could have some fun taking something off-road. I've never had a four-wheel drive vehicle, so that's another reason why I wanted to get it. And I guess the third reason would be that using the XB as a daily is an amazing car. Love driving the XB. But there are certain times where I feel like I want something that's a little bit more comfortable. Maybe it's because I'm old, I don't know. But I'm kind of tired of like winding a car out to go anywhere, so it seems. If I get on the highway, I'm spinning at like 4,500 RPMs. I'm constantly feel like the car's being pushed, where I wanted something that's a little bit more chill, less stress, especially for long drives, which we plan on doing more of these road trips. I want something that is kind of going to give me less driver fatigue. So this thing really checks kind of all those boxes. And I also got this thing at a really, really good deal because this car was $38,000 new. I didn't pay nearly that much. So I'm kind of taking advantage of the low market for these vehicles. I'll get into some of the other vehicles I was considering instead of this one, but for now, let's go over some of the really cool features that this thing has to offer. All right, so let's start off with the exterior of this thing, all right? We'll kind of go through around the car, we'll go through the inside, I'll tell you kind of all the features. So again, this is a 2006 Jeep Commander. This is the limited model. This has a 4.7 V8 engine underneath. I'm gonna show you the engine in a minute. This engine puts out 295 foot-pounds of torque and 235 horsepower. It has 17-inch wheels. It is, like I said, all-wheel drive with four-wheel drive capabilities. It has four-wheel disc brakes. Come around the back here, you guys can see the paint is in really good condition. It comes with a tow hitch. It also comes with a roof rack, standard rear wiper. This color, I believe, is bright silver, and this has like a chrome package. So you're seeing the chrome accents here. Matched painted door handles and chrome front grille here. This is an add-on. I'll be removing that. And I think that's it with the chrome accessories. And this thing is trail rated. So moving on to the interior. All right, this is full leather. 12-way adjustable front seat, I want to say. It's 12 or 8, I can't remember exactly, but it's fully adjustable front seat. Power passenger seat. Both seats are heated, and you can actually heat just this section or just this section, which is pretty darn cool. We have a leather wrapped steering wheel here, which, you know, is typical kind of American leather wrap steering wheel. Ain't nothing to write home about. And check out these awesome floor mats, man. These things are still in good condition. Just need to be cleaned up a little bit. On the door here, we got real nice, comfortable door panel. I like this kind of giant ledge here because when you're driving, it's real easy to rest your elbow on. You got all the power features here on the door. We got this simulated faux wood, which you know we're going to do something about that. Coming to the back here. Now, one thing you're going to notice about this car is it's not only 7 rows of seating, but it has stadium seating. That's right. These seats in the back are raised higher than the seats in the front. So when you're sitting in the back, you can actually see over the driver, which is pretty insane. Another like killer cool thing about this is it has skylights. That's how big this car is. It actually has skylights. What am I talking about? Look at this right here. You take this, you unhook the screen, and you have yourself a skylight. I mean, dude, how freaking cool is that? So the back seat also has one of these swing down armrests. Super nice. Along with the, how cool is that, awesome cup holder. So I have the headrests folded down because while I'm driving they get in the way, but headrests fold down, and then there's actually 3rd row seating here. So you put that down, and you have a whole nother row of seats. Check it out. And the headrests, again, they can pop up if you want them up, but you can seat 7 people in here super easy. And look how nice the leather is. So opening up the trunk here, with the 3rd row folded down, man, there is a ton of room. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what Kelly and I are going to be taking advantage of. All this awesome room here. Now, of course, all these seats fold down. There's like a 60-40 split too. And when those things fold down, literally you can just lay back here. There's enough room for people to lay down and sleep in this thing. So back here in the rear, there's a little button under here. I can also do this with my key fob, and you can pop up the rear glass, which is pretty nice if you just kind of want to easily put things in the trunk, or maybe send something long through here that may extend out of the back of the vehicle. You have that capability. Pretty rad. Get a surfboard, send it right through here. So now let me show you under the hood. This is where all the power is. Try and do this with one hand. All right, check it out. That's American muscle right there. Yeah, once, like I said earlier, 4.7 V8. This thing, aside from this kind of makeshift intake, is really, really, really beautiful. And what I mean is, when you're buying a car, this is exactly what you want to see. Nothing is wet. Nothing has been obviously changed. You can see kind of the tarnish on the alternator there, the air conditioning compressor. It's a uniform kind of dirt that's around everything, which means that stuff hasn't been recently touched, stuff hasn't been replaced. It looks exactly as it should. It is not filthy dirty. It's not totally clean. It's kind of exactly how you would expect and you want your engine bay to look. There is no obvious worm gear. There's no obvious zip tie. There's nothing underneath here that screams, oh, there was a repair. Oh, there was damage. Oh, something blew up. And you just look at the top of the hood too. When you're buying a used car, these are some of the things you want to make sure you're looking at. There's nothing up here that's kind of showing me that there was a fire, or there was brake fluid sprayed everywhere and the paint came off the car. There's nothing like that in this, underneath this hood, and super happy about this. So back inside, you got your typical instrument panel here. The steering wheel has cruise control controls. Turn it on, set your speed. On the back of the steering wheel, there are actually radio controls, which aren't hooked up because there's an aftermarket stereo in here, which is absolutely terrible. Again, over here, we have more simulated wood. We do have driver and passenger air conditioning controls. The AC in this car, as you would imagine, is ice cold. You got our standard shifter here. And this is what I was talking about earlier when I was talking about the 4-wheel drive. This thing has a really sweet off-road kind of invention that Chrysler came up with called Quadra Drive. And what that does is it's a 3-way locking differential. By flipping this lever and going into 4-wheel drive low, basically it has 3 locking differentials, one for the front, one for the center, and one for the rear, and makes this thing really awesome off-road. Also, we have kind of like a driver and passenger power source to plug in your cell phone or whatever. A bunch of kind of useless cubbies. We got a giant center console. with kind of like a silly little net in here. Coin slot holders, like pretty ridiculous. Awesome vents that are easy to open and close. Silly little storage thing. I don't know what the heck you would ever do with this. Again, nice floor mats. I love good floor mats. Passenger seats, real good shape. We have an enormous sunroof, which is really, really cool. And I will tell you, the sliding action on the shade is like money. This is like straight out of like a Mercedes. It slides so nice. Really cool. Sunglass spot. It's got home link up here, so you can program your garage door opener. This is how you open and close the sunroof as well as tilt. The rear view mirror auto dims. And also you can do something where you can talk into it. I got to figure out how this all works here. But auto dimming mirror here. I forgot to say also auto dimming and heated side mirrors. How cool is that? What else am I forgetting here? It has automatic headlights, come on automatically. It has automatic wipers. The minute the windshield senses rain, they turn on automatically. They go to the rate of speed too, is how hard it's raining. I tried it last night, it worked great. It has this thing called Smart Beam, which is really, really cool. What happens is there's a camera behind the rearview mirror. And what that camera does is at night, it senses incoming light. So if somebody's coming at you, it leaves the low beams on. But the minute that car goes away, it gradually turns on the high beams. And then once another car comes, it gradually turns the high beams off. Super cool, super cool. What else, man? This thing's loaded. I mean, it has it all. Everything that America could think of back in 2006, this thing has. All right, so let's talk about how well this thing drives. And man, this is like driving a lazy boy chair. I mean, it's so comfortable to drive, at least at long distances, which is what I've mostly done. So yesterday I drove 7 hours from Roanoke to my parents' house, and now I'm driving 4 hours from my parents' house to my house. And this thing has been great. I mean, it's been fantastic. I mean, it hasn't missed a beat. I very quickly have come accustomed to how it handles, to its size. But honestly, I'm someone who's driven a lot of cars and I can kind of drive anything, but very easy for me to get comfortable with. The brakes on it need to be replaced, but they work really well. There's a little noise coming from them, but they work great. I mean, they stop at no problem. Handling wise, it handles just like you think it would. It's like a Cadillac, but it's like a Cadillac truck. It doesn't drive like a car. It drives like, I've never really driven like a big SUV, so I guess it drives like a big SUV. I don't know how else to describe it. But I used to own a Toyota Tacoma, and that drove like a car. This does not drive that way. So it's easy to maneuver. It's not like stupid big where it's like really cumbersome to park or back up or anything like that. If you have all the headrests down, as you could probably see in this camera shot, visibility is really good out the back. I mean, there's no issues at all. There are a couple blind spots here and there because of the size of the vehicle and the A, B, C, and like D pillars. But other than that, really easy to drive. And really quiet. The engine is quiet. The interior is really quiet. I'm actually probably yelling right now. We're going 70. It's at 2,000 RPMs at 70. Gas mileage wise, you're probably wondering. At normal, I did some driving yesterday. I like kind of like normal driving like I would do because of the roads I took. And it got 18. And then highway, because I had to accelerate hard a couple times I exited and entered the highway. So my mile per gallon went down to 15 on the highway. So I don't know if that's normal or whatever, but so I'm fine with it. I got a bunch of other cars to get really good gas mileage. I didn't buy this for gas mileage. I only drive 25 miles a week. So gas mileage is no big deal. Unless of course you're on a really long trip, and then it can add up. It has a 20-gallon tank, and you're gonna see like around 350 miles per tank. So now let's talk about what my plans are for this vehicle. Now I should say the first couple of videos on this car are going to be maintenance related. They're going to be oil changes, spark plug changes, the brakes are going to have to be done eventually. There's going to be a lot of kind of repair work or maintenance work or stuff like that done to the car. It's not going to be, you know, we're putting on a 6-inch lift and giant wheels and tires. That's not happening. So there are going to be a lot of videos on maintenance. We got to get the Miata up and running. We got to get that project finished. Once that project's finished, we can kind of move on to this one. Now, as far as upgrades for this, I do plan on doing a lift. I plan on doing a mild lift. I plan on changing the wheels and tires out for something a little bit more aggressive, but nothing obnoxious. Because we want to be able to drive this thing long distance. We don't want this thing to be a howling, mud truck looking redneck thing, okay? As far as interior goes, one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this horrific stereo. The owner told me he hates the stereo. It's a touchscreen, and it's actually a Pioneer, but it's an older unit, and he told me he hated it, and I kind of laughed a little bit because I was like, you know, well, whatever it is, it's better than the stock one. I mean, you know, you can't hate it that much. And after driving in this car with the stereo for 15 minutes, I hate it as much as he does. First of all, it's extremely small. It's tiny, it's like a 5-inch screen. Second of all, like, it's so cumbersome and obnoxious to work with. I can make it work, but it's so stupid. I can't stand it, so I just leave it off. That's how annoying it is. So that's one of the first things we're gonna do is change out the stupid stereo. There's a couple things on the car I want to fix, some trim pieces and stuff like that. The steering wheel we may upgrade in the future. I think an SR8 from a Dodge will fit right in place, airbags working and everything. So we might do that. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what an SR8 is. I know it's like a souped up Dodge or whatever. But yeah, steering wheel's probably gonna get upgraded, replaced. There's gonna be some trim replacement or modifying. The wood trims kind of gotta go. It's very dated. I don't hate it, but it's like, it's gonna get changed. We'll either use vinyl or paint to change that out. We'll probably do a roof rack. If I do a roof rack, we're gonna put some spotlights up there. Not a light bar. I hate light bars. I can't stand rigid or rugged square LED lights. None of that stuff's happening. I can't stand that stuff. We're gonna be upgrading the lighting a little bit. So yeah, there's some things we're gonna be doing to kind of make this an overland sort of rig. And then we're gonna take it off-road. We're gonna actually go camping in it. We're gonna do stuff with this and kind of try it out. We're gonna be doing it in Florida, so we're not gonna be rock crawling. We're not gonna be scaling giant mountains. We're gonna be driving through a lot of sand, and we're gonna be driving through some mud, and that's pretty much the extent of it. So, you know, start off slow, and then, you know, maybe as time goes on, we find ourselves in Tennessee or something like that, doing some more, maybe northern Georgia, doing some more fun stuff with the car. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this ridiculous American car that I bought. First American car that I've ever owned. Let me know if you think it will last. Let me know if you think that all the things that are currently working on it will be working on it in the near future. Who knows? Time will tell. The engine, I don't know if I mentioned it, has 184,000 miles on it. You know, I've been looking for these cars used, and sometimes I find them with 300,000 miles on it. Now, I don't know how many engines that person has gone through. I'd like to think it's still the original one, but we'll wait and see. The thing runs perfectly right now. We're gonna do some things to it, make it a little bit faster, make it a little bit more fun to drive, definitely make it look cooler. So let me know down in the comments what you'd like to see done to the ride besides a couple of things that I mentioned, and let me know if you're excited about this build, and if you're not, let me know what you wish I would have bought, and don't tell me another XB. Don't put XB. I have an XB. I'm not going to buy another one. So anyway, let me know down in the comments what you think. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure to subscribe. Stay tuned for lots more coming on the Jeep Commander. We're really going to go through this thing, soup the nuts, and we're going to make it super cool and fun to drive. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Later.